Hello everyone, Coastal Curious George here. So I'm at Chessington World of Adventures and I'm just out back behind the Safari Hotel. And what I wanted to do was to respond to some comments on my videos. So I've got a few here that I want to respond to. So the first one is by Boombox1429 and the statement was about tidal wave and how wet it was on one of my tidal wave shorts. So this is at Thorpe Park. And I agree, it's definitely one of the wettest water rides I've been on. Not the wettest, I'd probably say the honour for that goes to Stormforce 10 at Drayton Manor. That was like jumping into the lake, and I'm not even exaggerating, that was really, really wet. And it got me thinking as to why. And so diving into a little bit of physics here, what I was thinking was that I have no doubt the manufacturers designed the boat and the hull to maximise the splash. However, because what you have is like gravitational potential energy converting to kinetic energy, which will then go into the splash, and you also have the mass of the entire boat being loaded with people, and also when you double the velocity, that will quadruple the kinetic energy, because you have kinetic energy equaling half mass times velocity squared, and all of this just combines in simple terms to deliver a massive splash. So those are my thoughts on that, so thank you for that comment. Okay, so the next comment is from It's a Place 11, talking about the difference between Wrath of Rakshasa and Baron 1898 at Efteling, two B&M dive coasters, and how Wrath of Rakshasa is one of their favourites. So thank you for that comment. I've ridden both, and both are very good dive coasters, but interestingly, they also have their own problems as well. So Efteling is beautifully themed, with a ghostly apparition pre-show, and the theme is just unbelievable. But it's a pretty average dive coaster overall. It has two inversions. You've got this like dive loop and a zero-G roll. After that, there's not a huge amount going on. And the initial drop is all right, and you get to go straight into a pitch black tunnel with fog effects, which is pretty cool. But overall, it's a fine B&M dive coaster, very smooth. Wrath of Rakshasa is mental in comparison. I think it's 5 inversions in total. The first drop, this is at Great America, the first drop is incredible. That is amazing. However, I rode 2 rides in the front row in the centre, which appear to be the optimal seat from what I understand. And I wasn't given a choice, we were told where to sit. However, I have friends who sat in different places, such as on the wings, in the middle, on the back, and they said there were some nasty vibrations, which is unfortunate if that's true. When I rode it on the front and the centre, I didn't notice any major vibrations. There was an S-bend that was particularly aggressive. I got a slight knock to the head as I went from one side to the other. But that's because I had my hands up and I wasn't holding on. Apart from that, though, both are excellent dive coasters in their own right, and both are worth riding. With Wrath of Rakshasa, I was also quite impressed with the level of theming as well for Six Flags, so Six Flags did a great job with that. So I received another comment about one of the shorts I released on Twistrix at Drievelet Family Park. This is in the Netherlands. And I was surprised by this, what looks like a very tame family coaster, spinning like crazy. And it's a Maurer custom spinning coaster, according to Captain Coaster. And I'd never seen anything like this before, because I believe it's based on weight distribution, how much it spins. So I managed to get it to spin quite a lot when I was on it, so it was actually surprisingly intense. And the comment was regarding which one came first, the Intamin spinning one or the Maurer spinner. And I'm not sure, so I had a look, and the Maurer spinner, that was the only one I could find on Captain Coaster. However, there were 3 Intamin spinning ones, and they were in, I think it was South Korea, Taiwan, and Brazil. And the one in South Korea, I think it was South Korea came first, and then the other 2 Intamin ones came afterwards, so after Twistrix. So from that, I can assume that Intamin came first, and maybe, perhaps Maurer, just to speculate, maybe Maurer thought, we like this model, let's have one of our own. But it looks like Intamin came first, that model, so that's interesting. I wasn't aware of that, so thank you very much for that comment. Okay, and the final comment I wanted to respond and react to was regarding a Paraton short that I uploaded, stating how Paraton is the best ride at Djurs Summerland. So I've been to Djurs Summerland just once, this is in Denmark, and I was really surprised because I knew very little about it. It's a really good park actually, I thoroughly enjoyed my time there, and stating that Paraton is the best, yeah, of course it is, that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's very obvious, it's a fantastic coaster. So when I'm ranking coasters, I look for smoothness, pacing and aggression. Those are the key 3 things I look for, and Paraton scores a perfect 5 out of 5 on all 3 counts. However, there is one downside to Paraton as well that I was struggling with, and that was getting in and out of the seats, just because there's very little leg room. It's an old intimate mega coaster, kind of like Expedition G-Force at Plopsaland, Germany as well, Plopsaland Deutschland as it's now known. And that one I had difficulty getting in and out as well. And the airtime is so aggressive on Paraton, the lap pass were almost painful. However, Paraton is still an amazing coaster. Having said that, even though I agree it's clearly the best Central Summerland, there are other fantastic rides there as well. So Solguden, the flat ride, is the most mental flat ride I've ever encountered. If you haven't go on that, you've been to Central Summerland. Tigeren, this is the very well themed and amazing massive gyro swing. That thing was incredible. I see it on flat bars only, and it felt like you're just casually hanging upside down in the sky with the sky beneath you rather than above you, which was an incredible sensation. And Dragon Kongen as well. This was an interesting one. This is the Dragon King. It's an Intamin suspended coaster, and I was quite surprised at this because I knew nothing about it. And it starts out with an ascending launch out of the station, and you traverse through the dragon's lair with smoke effects, which is awesome. And there's a very creative layout as well, so I was quite impressed with that. So overall, great park. Okay, so that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for those comments. I do appreciate them. If you want me to react and respond to other comments, feel free to leave them in the video. I do read the comments and it's very much appreciated. If you like this content, please like and subscribe for more theme park content. So here from Chessington, take care of yourself. All the best.